Just got to get the helmet and the boots in that shot with the t-shirt. The Talented Husband, The Latin Connection, The Careful Terrorist, episodes 1, 2, and 3, 1962, The Saint, starring Roger Moore. Roger Moore plays the Saint Simon Templar, named for, well, the Templar Knights and Saints. The shtick is it always begins with a discussion of him narrating what's going on in the story, and we get the credits show us the little halo around his head. I believe later on he uses aliases based on Roman Catholic saint names. The first 3 episodes are fascinatingly good and prescient in the sense that they could have been made more recently, except for the differences in technology and some of the cultural settings. The Talented Husband is actually not very talented. He is a producer of plays and wannabe writer of plays that does not write anything very good or with any real action, and so his productions generally bomb. What he is good at, though, the talented aspect, is going through wives and killing them and getting their money, insurance or otherwise, in order to maintain his lifestyle of relative affluence and continuing to invest in his flops. One of the things he definitely can do in the story, besides just assassinate wives, is act, because he does take on the role brilliantly of a female housekeeper that he has hired to take care of his latest wife, who survived the first assassination attempt by him. Ultimately, he intends to poison his wife and blame it all on the fictional housekeeper, who has then absconded and, of course, will never be found. And he is completely believable in this dual role as the husband and as the housekeeper. It's quite incredible. And so in that respect, he is the talented husband. And again, very common, timeless sort of human story, a little bit different, having it be, instead of the Black Widow of infamy, having it being a man who is assassinating wives. But we meet right away Simon Templar. This is pilot episode, part number 1, and how he unravels the plot, exposes the bad guy, causes them to ultimately expose themselves. The Latin Connection, we find Simon Templar in Italy, in Rome. A governor from the United States is there with his family, and his daughter gets abducted by mafia, who hold her for ransom, not for money, but for clemency for one of the Don's brother, who is on death row awaiting execution. They want the sentence commuted to life imprisonment, as they say openly, because they plan on rubbing out witnesses, paying off new ones, and figuring out how to get a new trial for said brother. Again, it's a fascinatingly well done story, mafia, recurring theme in fiction, then all the way through till now. Simon Templar does a fabulous job of, when you think you're at those moments of the show, you're like, well, it's 1962. Maybe he's sincere. Maybe he's a little too naive. Maybe they're going to fall for this. And it becomes clear that no, he knew what was up all along. You don't have to be jaded and from our time to understand what's going on, and he certainly nails it. Busts the bad guy, saves the girl, exposes the criminal plot. The third episode, The Careful Terrorist, of course, it's 1962, and so the guy who's engineering weapons of destruction to be used to rub people out for money, the engineer he's called, is, of course, Prussian. He's German, and has to postpone, some of his work can't be done on a Wednesday because he has choir practice and he plays the organ, which is a fascinating sort of shot at, I don't know, is that a shot at Germanic religion, or is it just a shot at religious people generally? It was just sort of, well, whatever. But again, very timely, like they were on the cutting edge for 1962. The union boss worked for the mafia. He's involved with organized crime. He's created his own little syndicate around being union boss. He likes to collect valuable things using ill-gotten gain, and he has no problem hiring the engineer to rub out his enemies. Ultimately, he decides that he will pull the trigger on Simon Templar himself, and using remote-controlled devices, the engineer just had witnessed a remote-control airplane with a nice 2-mile range on its remote, and he decides that he can build a bomb that can be triggered with this device. And they're smart enough that they put 2 bombs in Simon Templar's apartment, figuring that he will find one and be so smug that he found it that he'll never find the second one. Of course, Simon Templar, again, one-ups them. He's already been to confront the bad guy, broke one of his antiques, which was fake, and stashed a mic in his office. Simon Templar has been listening to the ongoings in the office. He knows about the remote control. He knows about the 2 bombs. And he not only finds one bomb, he finds and relocates the second bomb to the bad guy's office and literally puts him in the moral conundrum of blowing himself up. He literally gives this guy, without telling him what's going to happen, a last chance. Don't do it. Don't do it. You don't want to do this. Don't push the button. He gives him a chance to back out, and he doesn't, and he ends up blowing himself up. We find out after that the bomb was hidden in a Yin-era vase from China, that he just undercut some poor widow, so he thought, and purchased this $1,000 item for $100, and then he ups it to $150. He's such a good guy. And that actually contains the bomb being delivered back to him so that it can be his undoing when he pushes the button. So far, I'm got to say, I really love this show. For being 1962, and I've become a fan of classic TV and movies. More and more I talk about it. They're pre-woke. Even the stuff in the early 2000s that I thought wasn't all that good was much more enjoyable to watch than anything being made today. I like the Star Wars prequels better than I ever did, because compared to the sequel trilogy and the garbage out there right now with Beta Fett or Boba Cuck or whatever you want to call him, the way they have downgraded Star Wars, and well, I'm always talking about that. But these classic shows are better. Sometimes they're mediocre. Sometimes you have them on while you're looking at social media because they're better than anything else you're going to have on in the background. Some of them really surprise you and really jump out at you. And The Saint, I'm going to end up watching all the episodes that I can get for free on Crackle, is where I'm finding them right now. They got the first 2 seasons on Crackle. They're really good. They're really good, compelling stories that are just as good today as they were then. It's no wonder that the show was a big hit and led to Roger Moore being James Bond. So that is my take on The Saint so far. I love it. You can find it on Crackle. There's a few commercials on Crackle, but there's a lot of older and different and more offbeat content. The stuff they're able to get for cheap because it's older or wasn't as popular, you find tons of it. I've been watching The Partridge Family and other things I've already reviewed, but I'll be watching more of The Saint and enjoying it thoroughly, I'm sure, but I had to do a quick review and plug it on those first 3 episodes. Check it out, watch it, love it. If you've seen it, let me know what you think. If you get around to watching it, let me know what you think. Always want to hear other opinions. Have a great evening. Thank you to all my recent subscribers. I've had quite a few since I did the video on Frosk and all of the rant on G4. I love having you on my channel. You're always welcome here, always welcome in discussion. I comment frequently about the pop culture problems in my videos, but I have been just more or less not reviewing all the new stuff as it comes out, but reviewing what I happen to be watching at the time and giving my opinions on that. So glad you're here. You're always welcome. Love to hear from you. Have blessings on your evening.
Don't do it, Dad. Don't do it. You're making the biggest mistake of your life. Don't try it. I found the other bomb.